Hey, this is the story that 2021 has been waiting for. A story of grit, determination, perseverance, and one hell of an inner soul. Get ready for it.
Audio Jungle.
In life, you can either let circumstances control and define you, or you can use them to let you grow and catapult you to where you want to be. Here's a story all about that. This is David, my son's friend since he was a teenager, and here's his story. Hey David.
Right, good trek up Striding Edge today. Made it up to the top.
Yeah. Yes. Let me tell you the amazing story of David Lewis. It's a two-parter. I'll start it now and I'll come back to it because these are the bits that I knew. David, at the age of 13, lost his dad. His dad was murdered in the Caribbean. If that's not a big enough shock in your life at such a tender age as a teenager, at 14, the difficulties that got produced in his home life with his stepfather meant that he had to leave home and get a flat on his own. 14. I said, who paid for it, David? He said, my mum paid half and I had to pay the other half. How would you possibly pay half at 14? He said, I washed cars. I did anything I could. I made the rent and I paid it. Something inside me, it started to ripple. At 14, I was no chance that I was going to do anything like that. What a man, what a dude. He then went on to have to explore a lot of things by himself, growing up without a father, growing up without a male role model, which I know all about. I too grew up without a male role model. That was the half of David's story that I already knew. Let's rewind back 18 months. I asked Dylan, I said, Dylan, can I have David's number? He said, why? I said, I've long thought about this. I think he's a really good lad. And I think he's missed out on some stuff. And I'd just like to, like I'm a dad to you. I know all about not having a dad. And I know all about, as a man, growing up and not having a male role model to follow. And the difficulties that faces. So I said, I want to offer him some guidance and support, Dylan. I want to do what I do for you. I'd like to do it for him. I never did it. I had the thought there, but I never did it. So I've had his number since. So the day that I saw him in the mountains, there was an opportunity. We got to the back, we're climbing up. The best time to ever have a conversation is the way up. And little did I know how wrong I was. And how the story of grit, determination began and how it happened to be with David. This bit next is what you all need to listen to. Whatever you're going on in your life, listen to this. This is something you need to take seriously, that we can let things define us or we can do something about it. Back to the story. David says it was 2020 that came and was the real test for everyone, but for him it was one of his biggest tests, which I thought was amazing after what he'd got through at such a tender age and getting through what he did. He said, in 2020 came, I had a job and I lost it due to COVID, got laid off. What did you do? He said, I got another job. He goes, what happened then? He goes, I lost that job. In total, in 2020, he lost 5 jobs, got laid off due to COVID. I said, oh my God, that must have broke you. What did you do? Because I got another job. I just got another job. Every time it happened, I thought, I can still do this. I can still work. I got another job. Then he tells me that he got to the point his landlord wanted to have his property back. He had 3 days till he was homeless. 3 days. And then he got a call off the council. He'd been on the waiting list since he was 14. And they said, we've got somewhere. I said, what did you do? He said, I took it. What he'd failed to tell me to mention, this was out of area, so he was forced to move 25 miles away to a nice place that I like, but it's not in our area. How did you get on with that? He goes, I just got on with it. Started meeting new people there and I just took it as an opportunity. I saw there was more work around there and I got a job again round there. Wow. Just listening to him explain what everyone else is falling at the first hurdle, he's not just falling on it, he's leaping over it. What I thought was the guidance and support I was going to give him was more the awe and appreciation that I had. Because as we walked up that mountain, more and more I listened to David, and more I understood this guy's got it. It's got everything that every one of my videos is about, and it's about the mindset to go forward, and he's got it. He's got it. He's got it more, and he made me feel proud that I knew him, proud he was my son's friend, and proud to tell your story. Just before we go to the next clip, I said, David, this has impressed me so much, I want to make a video about you. And he said, no one's ever done that for me. Oh, no one's ever given me a story like you did, David. I swear to you on that. No one. You impressed me so much that I hope when you see this and you understand that you genuinely blew my mind with the power of your determination. I feel a little bit emotional about it, if I have to be totally honest. Even Marley does. Look. How are you feeling about David's story? Oh, that was just to get off the fact that I was getting emotional. We'll come back to this. So a bit of background on all Dylan's relationships. When I was 14, I was messing up. I was messing up big. I had no one there to stop me, no one there to guide me, and I messed up. So when Dylan was 14, I was hard on him. My best mate likes to tell me I was a little bit too hard, but the end product is good and he's an amazing guy. But I remember I didn't want him to knock around with certain people. David wasn't one of them, but there were some other ones who were messing around doing stuff. And it's funny now they're all older, I absolutely love them all. I think they're amazing. And I remember Dylan said the most famous thing. He said, Dad, you might think such and such is like this and whatnot, but he's my mate. And I don't give any of my mates. Oh my God, I just was blown over by that, and it's so true. And now I see him as young adults and it's amazing, and David's one of them. Thanks, David, for the story. Wow, just talking about David earlier on made me feel a little bit emotional. It sort of reminded me of me being that age, and I thought I had it bad, and David went up against it. Just so impressed. If you watch this, David, I want you to know I am so impressed with who you've become and who you are going to become later on. David understands that we create our happiness and opportunities and what goes on. We're the ones who grabs it, takes hold of it and makes it happen. If we don't do it, no one else will do it for us, and he's realised that his mind is already working next level at pushing himself, pushing the opportunities. Most of all, I did a previous video called Rewrite Your Life Story. He's already writing his own life story. He didn't watch the video, he's writing his life story, and he is being who will take him to the next level. I said, what you're doing now is apply for BAE, he's applied for another job. He's always got something going on about furthering himself. The man is a legend. David, you are a dude. You had everything against you, and you stood tall, and you didn't let it define you, and you got on with it. And for that, you've got my admiration, my support, and my heart, mate. Because it really, honestly, I can't describe. If you touch my story like that, how many? If you touch my soul like that, how many other people's soul are you going to touch? I know you're probably going to touch a lot of women because you're a very good-looking guy, but you're as good-looking inside as you are on the outside. You're a legend in my mind, and yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for showing me that. And reminding me that we have the power in all of us, and it's not the things that are around us that we can use as a barrier, but it's about us creating and removing them barriers and getting on with it, having faith and belief in ourselves and believing in us so we can make the next stage. I believe in you, Dave, and I cannot wait to see more of your story unfold. And maybe we'll do another video when you smash the next part of your life. But most of all, mate, thank you very much.
Yes, baby!
Go on.
That's how you do it, baby!